Rarely will I cast a game without watching it first, but on this one I took one look at the build and decided to just cast it completely blind. This replay from Boojilicious, we've got Kroak and Lord Kroak, which is a combination that is both awesome and terrifying at the same time, potentially. Rev Crystal to keep them healed up. Feral Cold Ones here. We've got some Skink Cohort as a sort of pseudo line here with some Horned Ones, so elite armor piercing out on the left flank. On the right flank, some anti-large with Cold One Spear Riders, some more cohorts to support. Up against the Demons of Chaos. This was from a recent Land Battles with Capture Point mod tournament. So it is with that mod enabled, obviously, and the Demons build. If we take a look here, led by Be'lakor, of course. We've got Plague Bears through the center, a couple of blues, 4 Fleshhounds, and the Heralds of Khorne's Fury, Regiment of Renown. Are they Blood Crushers? No, they're not. I don't know. I forget. They're also a little bit miscolored due to a hilarious bug. Hopefully that gets fixed with the Chaos Dwarfs update. But anyway, ignoring that for the time being, we're going to see how these players set up on this map, which is, I believe, the Proving Grounds map. There's this little sort of semi-choke in the center with some woods on each side, different avenues of approach, and some impassable terrain as well. So it should be pretty interesting to see how they approach. Right now, these skinks are being sent in to absorb the fire of the blues. Definitely got a lot of models and nice missile block chance. Small size also kind of helps them, but going to get intercepted by the Plague Bears. And right now, Lizardmen are kind of holding back a bit. We do have this Exalted Flamer in the center. Going to be able to do some fairly solid damage. I don't know. Personally, I think the units of Flamers are often better just because, you know, multi-models, depending on the type of unit you're shooting at, you can actually get better damage output, but we'll see. Right now, it looks like it's firing into the woods here, which is going to be mostly ineffective as a lot of those shots hit the trees. Not going to do much damage to those Cold Ones. The thing about the Skinks here, though, is their speed does allow them to outmaneuver the Plague Bears, and the Plague Bears' low offensive output means they're not really going to rout the Skinks very quickly, but the blue fire coming in from the flank there should turn around a little bit quicker. I'm interested to see how this fight goes as well. I don't think the Fleshhounds had a charge order on the Feral Cold Ones, because the Feral Cold Ones are winning for quite a bit less cost, at least initially, until those Horn Cavalry get involved. Yeah, Blood Crushers, that's right. The Skull Crushers are the Warriors version of that unit. That's right. I forget sometimes all the blood and skulls and what exactly is being crushed at what time. Yes, these things are significant. But anyway, the Heralds definitely run in there. They're going to get counteracted by Horned Ones even. So a nice investment by both sides there. Meanwhile, Horned Ones fending off some Fleshhounds in the back. And then here in the center, this unit of Cold One Spear Riders gets deployed in support of Kroak and easily gets eaten up as this other unit's trying to pull around. It looks like they're trying to come support against the Heralds. Heralds are doing okay so far. Nice Pit of Shades is going to take out some of those Skinks, although value-wise, considering how expensive that spell is, I'm not sure it's worth it. Check in with Kroak and, oh yeah, about to get some Deliverance of Itza here, aka Kroak's Pizza Delivery Service, just absolutely blasting those Plague Bears. Kroak pulls away. Kroak is going to be a very strong combatant, but I think Be'lakor has slightly more overall HP, physical resistance, and just overall hits very hard as well. So they should be decent opponents for each other. I think Be'lakor might be even slightly better just overall, but we'll see. Certainly it depends on the engagements and how they play out. Right now, Kroak moving back to attack the Heralds once more, help support these Horned Ones, and likewise they can help support him, help him from getting overexposed. Certainly with Horned Ones and Kroak together, they should be able to take down Be'lakor, but we'll see. Right now, Boojilicious slightly ahead on damage value. It's nice that we can see that because of the cap point mod. Of course, the nice Gungan Ray shield style from Lord Kroak, the Shield of the Old One, is going to be helping mitigate quite a bit of damage as this engagement plays out. And again, we see the Horned Ones now in support of Be'lakor. He's going to pop his fancy Shadow Shield there. And it looks like the Stegodon is in position to potentially help block here. Definitely can add a little kind of weight, literally, just a giant, you know, kettlebell basically dropped on Be'lakor's toes. Does he have toes? Okay, he does have toes, confirmed. Don't clip that, please. Anyway, gonna see some more pizza deliveries, some more Pit of Shades, just magic being unleashed on both sides. Be'lakor is having a tough time getting away, but it does look like he'll be able to disengage as he screens through those Plague Bearers there. Horned Ones are grinding right now, but the Demon's army has quite a bit of staying power as well. There wasn't like any Saurus or any real meat to this Blizzard's build, besides really the cavalry and the monsters. It's where the meat of this build certainly is. But Kroak gonna stand and fight for a little bit. Kroak, of course, if we look at his combat stats, is unbreakable. He does have magic damage, so if he can manage to get a hit on Be'lakor with that low 26 melee attack, he will do some okay damage to him. Currently suffering from wounds, really? He's not... Interesting. Is that a bug? Because he's definitely above 50% HP. Yeah, anyway. But, of course, can continue to deliver the massive blob-busting magic that will be needed to clear out a lot of this Demon's infantry and whatnot. Meanwhile, Be'lakor can be handled by Kroak, and again, Kroak helping out in melee here as well. 2v1, they should be able to perform much better. Handful of Horned Ones that do remain are also fighting in this area, helping to provide some mass blocking, and it's just not the greatest time for Be'lakor here, honestly. Yeah, he's having a generally tough time, but of course, Be'lakor is just infinitely scary. As long as he's alive and still fighting, has the ability to come back and win this battle. Certainly swing and a miss there. Unfortunate on the hand of the gods as Kroak tried to just blast him. That would have done a lot of damage to Be'lakor. But going to use the army ability Arcane Surge there. Yeah, of course, this Lord of Torment, he feasts on these low leadership units. You can see as the skink kind of routes near him, he'll heal up. Honestly, if I was in Zaberskull's position here, I might try and take the time to just feast on these skinks, other low leadership units to heal Be'lakor a substantial amount before I try and re-engage on the expensive single entities of the lizards here. Of course, time is not necessarily on his side because of the capture point, but he has quite a bit of time. And certainly enough to try and feast on a little bit of HP before moving back in for the kill. But of course, that would also leave his Fleshhounds somewhat exposed. I don't know. Might be better to just completely forsake this center pocket and just move away with everything. Here, he's going to be able to rout off a unit of Horned Ones. Kind of has local superiority. The Stegodon and Lord Kroak a little bit slow to respond to support Kroak. They should be coming shortly. Horned Ones, Cold One Spear Riders actually, back from rout. It's going to be moving in. Nice shield of the old ones as well. And more Horned Ones moving in. Kroak getting hit pretty hard here. Probably about neck and neck in terms of HP. Yeah, 3,000 HP on Be'lakor, under 3,000 HP for Kroak, so definitely in trouble right now, potentially. This Pit of Shades, too, is likely to finish off these Horned Ones. From a magic perspective, I probably would bring Melkos Mystifying Miasma just in case of a situation like this, because it's going to be a lot more efficient damage against these high-value cav units. Plus, the speed control helps you stay on top of their movements, but with the Fleshhounds kind of evaporating there, suddenly things swing back against Be'lakor. Gonna have to get back up in the air, but 3v1, the single entity fight, is pretty well against it, even if he's basically still tied with Kroak on HP. But look at this, the pro skinks on the little howdah on the back of the Bastildon here, throwing some poison jabs. Of course, perpetually poisoning poor Be'lakor, who definitely deserves all the poisonings he gets. Yeah, it's one hilarious thing about fighting Lizardmen. Even if their units don't explicitly have poison attacks, as long as there's something with poison javelins on the field, which is basically almost all of their dinosaurs, we're going to have some kind of poison component here. Horned Ones moving back in as well. Kroak getting a little blast. Kroak facing down. Val Be'lakor and Lizardmen gonna take home the win there. Very nice photo finish, and big thanks to Boojilicious for sending that one in. Like I said, I saw the build, and I was like, yes, I'm going to cast this one pretty much regardless. And love to see that great value on Kroak, also just standing and fighting against Be'lakor, who's arguably the best lord in the game right now. Kroak definitely taught him a lesson there. Love to see some great action from Lord Kroak as well. Of horned ones, just everything about this build I love. I love the Lizard Cavalry usage here. The Light Skink front line ended up doing okay. I mean, they don't really get a lot of value in and of themselves, but they're nice support. Love the use of the Feral Cold ones as well. They traded right on cost with those Flesh Hounds, which is quite impressive, I have to say. A couple of the Flesh Hounds did quite well. Yeah, Exalted Flamer, I don't totally understand this pick. I think probably a unit of Flamers would be better, and then you use that cost elsewhere. Maybe you split one of these Plague Bears into 2 more blues or something with that. I'm not really sure. But, yeah. Exalted Flamer is an interesting choice. Not really the biggest fan. The Plague Bears also a decent choice against Lizardmen. They basically are the equivalent of Saurus, more or less. Have many of the same ups and downsides as Saurus, just more accentuated, but they do okay. Blues, of course, are one of the best units in the game, and definitely, I feel like if you're playing Demons of Chaos, like Be'lakor, 5 blues, probably a good way to start on most builds. But I'm not a Demons of Chaos player by any means, so very few true Demons of Chaos players out there, as you can only really play them in tournaments. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Definitely an interesting one. I may cast some more games from this or other series. Bujulicious sent me a couple from this tournament, so stay tuned for that. Be sure to like and subscribe if you want more. Thanks again for watching. We'll see you next time.